I'm gonna kick your ass. The Rock walked out of WrestleMania, the people's champ.
So why don't you go back to Calgary and take some more gas?
Hi, welcome to Pro Wrestling Weekly. I'm John Potok, and this is the role model Ric Lieb. And we're here to do a new show about pro wrestling to let you know all the inside scoops and everything that's happening on and off the scenes of pro wrestling. If you have any news, comments, rumors, or you just want to talk about anything that you heard about pro wrestling, you can give us a call. If you're in Akron, give us a call at 677-0029. If you're in Cleveland, it's 521-3529. Anyway, role model, as you know, we're the newest show in the wrestling world. And
soon to be the best.
Soon to be the... Anyway, we got a lot going on in the wrestling world.
Well, let's start off with WCW news then. All right,
spring Stampede is going on tonight. And
cut me off already. Before I even get to the Spring Stampede card tonight, though, I got a couple rumors that I'm hearing floating around and everything. And first rumor is that Tammy Lynn Sitch is rumored to be going to the WCW to be Ric Flair's valet. Did you hear about this, Phil?
No, I didn't hear nothing about it.
Okay, well, and I guess she was on a show the other day. I don't think we're allowed to name anybody's shows, but she's on a show the other day, and she had sounded like she pretty much was just excited about the idea. So it sounds
yeah, but
like
you think that's going to that's not going to really help their ratings any? I mean, they're still getting stomped by the WWF. If you look at it head to head, the WWF's doing a 5.8 now. They are down compared to the 6.6 last week, but they're still, WCW is nowhere close. Last week they did a total of a 4.3 composite. Thunder last week had another record low, 2.0.
Yeah, but you can't really blame that on Thunder or WCW. That was a Wednesday night when Thunder's normal airing time is on Thursday nights, and everybody knows that. Anyway, for those that don't know who Tammy Lynn Sitch is, that's Sunny that used to be in the WWF, going by her real name now. Also, I'm also hearing that Vampiro is no longer allowed to be doing any Nitros or Thunders because, as it says here, Juventud Guerrero was crying to Kevin Nash, who's also his good buddy, that 2 weeks ago that he could barely walk or eat for 3 days. Another factor was how Juvi was upset that Vampiro took his move, the Juvi driver. So, in other words, Juvi's throwing his weight around because he's buddies and crying about it. And now Vampiro, who I thought was a pretty exciting wrestler in the WCW, now he's not even allowed to do any of those major shows.
What about what's going on with the British Bulldog?
Okay, the British Bulldog just had that back surgery in
he's still messed up, though. He has
Canada.
that infection in the back, and, he just had his mother die, his sister die.
He's laid up for 3 months. They said he won't be out of the hospital for at least 3 months if he makes it.
But, the whole incredible thing is, what's WCW do? They go, they send him a card, get well, and in the card, they
By
have
the way,
walking
you're
papers.
fired.
Yeah, so
yeah, that's pretty rude.
we want to wish the best to the British Bulldog. Davey Boy Smith's his real name.
But it's all about business anyway, by the way, John.
Yeah, well.
I would have fired him, too. I mean, what's he going to do for the network? What's he going to do for WCW?
Well, I'm sure there's going to be a lawsuit. You can't, just because somebody has a legit injury from their work.
He's an easy pin right now, John. Go ahead with your...
Anyway, if you want to send some comments to British Bulldog, you can write to Davey Boy Smith, care of Stampede Wrestling, 435 Patina Place Southwest. That's Calgary, Alberta, T3P 2H5, and that's in Canada. So give them a,
I am upset with you.
Drop them a line, let them know.
You know that the fans out here can't spell. You got to have to spell that out for them.
What, the Calgary?
You're going to have to spell out probably David Smith.
Anyway, let's move on tonight about the Spring Stampede. We got a big pay-per-view going on tonight.
Okay, should I start with the undercards first, or do you want me to start with the main event?
Well, let's just get it on with the main event. As you can see, everybody here in TV land can see that we have this championship belt here. And we ought to start putting this to use, have our own little title on the show. What we can do is we'll make our own little predictions on any big events that are coming up each week, and whoever has the most right will win the title. So we got Spring Stampede tonight. Might as well get it on and see what happens with it.
So in other words, you might as well put the title belt right over here by me because, all right, the first match anyway, WCW World Heavyweight Title Match. It's going to be a 4 corners match with a special referee, Macho Man, Randy Savage. It'll pit Sting, Hollywood Hogan, DDP, that's Diamond Dallas Page, a.k.a. Trailer Trash, and the Nature Boy, Ric Flair, my personal favorite. And, Johnny, I'm going to have to go with the Nature Boy, Ric Flair on that one because, well, he's probably the greatest wrestler of all time, to tell you the truth.
We got to look at it like this. There's no way that Nature Boy Ric Flair is going to win the match tonight. You know, Hogan has a lot of pull in the back behind the scenes thing with Kevin Nash. Even though him and Kevin Nash have been not seeing eye to eye on a few things, my guess is with Hollywood Hulk Hogan to regain the title again.
Well, it's pretty good that we've already got a disagreement to start off the show, so.
And we'll put, in fact, that'll be the match that we'll put the title on the line. And if by chance Sting or DDP, which don't hold your breath, if they win the title, then it'll be a draw, and we'll go from the next pay-per-view and see what happens then for the championship.
Okay, the second match then, or, well, the second main event, or whatever you want to call it, second bottom on the list. Goldberg versus Kevin Nash, or should I say Greenberg versus Kevin Nash. There's no way Greenberg's going to lose another match to Kevin Nash, so I don't see him losing this one, and I hate to say that, and I think you're probably going to agree with me.
Yeah, I think Goldberg wins tonight, but in all reality, Kevin Nash is the booker, and who knows the stuff that he pulls behind there. You know, he's got a lot of people angry at him behind the scenes, but, you know, with him and Hollywood Hogan arguing, you know, like lately, you never know what's going to go on. They're arguing Lex Luger, what's going on with Lex Luger. They're saying, hey, you know, Kevin Nash wants to give him a big push. Hollywood Hogan doesn't think he's a big draw in the box office, which I agree with.
I agree with it, too. Matter of fact, I think, well, you know, Lex Luger behind the scenes right now, you know, he's getting a divorce because of comments that Sting. All right, let me get the whole story out real quick. Sting has now become a born-again Christian. Everybody wondering where he's been lately? That's where he's been. I mean, he had his operation, but he's also become a born-again Christian. So Sting broke the dirt out to his wife, said, you know, honey, here's what goes on and on the road with professional wrestlers, talking about groupies and things like that. And so Sting's wife called Lex Luger's wife, which, by the way, Sting and Lex Luger owned a gym together. They don't own it together anymore. Sting's wife called a bunch of other wrestlers' wives, and so there's pretty much a lot of wrestlers that are not too happy with Sting right now. But I rattled on, John. Don't even know where I'm at anymore.
Anyway, let's talk about the WWF for a little bit also. We got the WWF starting a new show on Thursday nights to compete with Thunder. It starts April 29th. It'll be called the WWF SmackDown in honor of your favorite guy, The Rock.
Well, it's got a great title, but the show's not going to be worth crap because it's going to be a woman's show. And hey, let me tell you something right now.
Yeah, but the women's show is not going to start until August, September sometime. They're going to do actually a 2-hour show. The first hour is going to be the regular head-to-head competition against Thunder, and then the second hour will be the new Women's Federation ordeal.
Yeah.
So we'll see what happens.
Well, what you don't seem to realize is this show is going to be predominantly a woman's show, and I don't want to watch. Hey, they look fine. WWF girls, you are all beautiful. Well, most of you. But you can't act. You cannot wrestle. You do not need to be in the ring. You should walk a man down the ring, maybe sweep the floor in front of him like if it was me, and then, you know, that's about it.
All right, well, with that in mind, we're going to go ahead and take a break here, and when we come back, we'll maybe take some calls and go over a lot more going on in the wrestling world.
I told that fella to send me a side of pork and some pig's feet for tonight's windig. And I cooked up a great big mess of grits, some possum shanks, some sweet potatoes, some grits, and some pone. Possum stew, grits and jowls, some corn pone, and some pickled crawdads. A nice, big, fat, baked old possum, even if I have to open my last jar of deviled hawk eggs.
Join the Beverly Hillbillies at noon for lunch, then again at 7:30 for dinner. Weekdays here on the Cat.
There's never a cloudy day at Ultimate Tan in Talmadge. Stop in and try out one of these state-of-the-art Wolf tanning beds. For your convenience, Ultimate Tan offers both 20-minute beds and a time-saving 15-minute super bed. Right now, take advantage of the new client discount, only $25 for 1 month unlimited access. Only at Ultimate Tan, 71 West Avenue, just off the Talmadge Circle. Call 633-3190, 633-3190. Get an attitude, a WWF attitude, right here on the Cat, channels 35 and 29. Are you having a musical, special event, meeting, or outdoor event? Then call your experienced professionals for all your lighting and audio needs at Mir Productions. Whether you're looking for lighting, mics, lasers, speakers, pyro, or much more, Mir Productions both rents and sells equipment. Also, let them assist you with your next recording project with their full digital recording studio. Call Mir Productions now at 1-888-485-1716. Do the job right with Mir Productions.
Hi, welcome back. Okay, and we were discussing a bunch of things going on in the wrestling world. Let's get on to the WWF, what we were talking about, you know, with the new wrestling show going on Thursday nights, and then we'll get some of your calls.
You know, speaking of the WWF, I'm hearing rumors that the WWF was passing out signs here at the Gund Arena. You know, well, not quite here, but in Cleveland at the Gund Arena. And, you know, if anybody was at that show and seen them passing out signs about Chris Jericho, you know, saying stuff like, something like the WWF needs Lionheart, or I have no idea. I wasn't at the show.
You know, that's another interesting comment. You know, last night I was at a buddy's wedding reception, and they were telling me, you know, I don't know how true this is either. He was telling me he was at a bar out partying up in Cleveland, and he was telling me he saw some big guys sitting out there, and they were all wearing ECW jackets. Well, he's not a pro wrestling fan, so, you know, who knows what's going on, but that's why I have a feeling he might be telling the truth. He was saying that when he was in Cleveland, there was big guys wearing ECW wrestling jackets, and he went up to him and he said, hey, you know, what's ECW? And, you know, they said, hey, we're pro wrestlers at the ECW. So, you know, they are coming to Cleveland here in April, and I was just, maybe there's some truth behind it. Maybe they're already here partying around, so if you see them out or you've heard anything about the ECW show, you know, give us a call and let us know what's going on. So, with that in mind, what do you think? You want to take some calls? Be brave?
Go right ahead.
All right, caller, you're on the air.
Hi. Is Rob Van Dam gonna go to WCW?
You know what? Rob Van Dam right now is under contract, and I don't think that he's going to go to WCW. But I think
not
if Rob Van Dam was,
soon,
yeah,
anyway.
not anytime soon. I'll tell you what, I think he'd be great for WCW though, because Rob Van Dam is, it's probably, he is the whole show in the ECW. If you want to know the truth, in my book, since Sid's gone now, so I don't see anybody else.
But with Rob Van Dam, if he's going to jump ship anywhere, he's going to jump ship to WWF, because Paul Hyman, who's Paul E. Dangerously, owner of the ECW, you know, they're going to help the WWF more than they're going to help WCW, because the WWF is actually pulling the bankrupt ECW out of the water and saying, hey, you know, well, WWF can pay the money, they'll let them go, and it'll be more like a minor league school for the WWF. Of course, the bigger stars eventually will hop up, but WCW is also contributing, but I think the WWF's the major contributor as far as what's going on. So as far as the question is, Rob Van Dam isn't going anywhere anytime soon unless the bankruptcy or whatever it does just finally fold the whole corporation.
One more note on that, he got his nickname Mr. Monday Night from WWF when he used to show up on Nitros.
All right.
Oh, thanks.
Hi, you're on the air.
Oh, yes. What did Val Venus do before he got into wrestling? You guys know?
Okay.
What do you think?
I think he wants to know if he was a porno star or not. Let's go ahead, next caller.
Hi, you're on the air.
Oh, yeah, I was wondering, do you have any news at all of anybody leaving or coming to the WCW or the WWF? And also, what happened to Ahmed Johnson, and is he going back to the WWF, and is Psycho Sid going back to the WWF?
Okay. Psycho Sid right now signed with the WLW, the World Legion Wrestling, which you can also see here on the Cat, by the way.
It's an independent federation.
Right, because Sid has too many problems, okay? I mean, the WWF will never take him back because he ended up doing a shoot match with Hogan, I guess, or something like that, and his manager or something had to run in the ring just to stop him from messing up everything on a WrestleMania.
New signings to the WCW, we got Medusa coming in,
right,
good friend of Kevin Nash's. They used to be friends back in the WWF, and now Medusa will be probably the newest WCW. As far as Ahmed Johnson, don't look for him to come back to the WWF anytime soon. When he left the WWF, he was actually fired. He had a bad attitude. He couldn't get along with Vince McMahon or anybody from Titan Sports, and That's the reason why I let him go. He is, however, still technically under contract, so you won't see him anywhere else anytime soon.
Maybe
either.
Japan.
Yeah. So with that in mind, we'll just go to the next call. Hi, you're on the air.
Yes, I have two questions, actually. The first one being that Hulk Hogan was arrested on drug charges.
No, that's.
Ooh,
I think that's a myth there. We didn't hear anything about that. And where did you hear that from?
I just was watching a weekly report and stuff, and I heard some stuff about it in some magazines.
Okay, you're going to have to speak up a little bit.
Well, my second question is the role model on anything? Because he thinks he's something and he sucks.
Oh, man.
Hey, the first critic.
Yeah, I know. Everybody wants to be a critic. Next caller, please.
Hi, you're on the air.
What channel will that SmackDown show be on?
What's that?
What channel will the SmackDown be?
UPN.
Okay, thank you.
Hi, you're on the air.
Yeah, hey, I just want to, I hear you guys talking about these wimpy wrestling leagues, and how come you guys don't talk about the ECW? Because I'm here to tell you, unless you start, I'm going to come on stage, and I'm going to snap both of you two like twigs. W rules, baby! Woo!
Oh, there's TV land, wrestling fans.
Oh, he had his 5 seconds of fame.
Yeah. Anyway, let's go back to the news for a little bit, and then we'll get some calls a little bit later.
Okay.
We got going on right now. Also, we got a thing, what happened with the Outside the Lines. You know, the ESPN did a big cover story on the world of pro wrestling. 2020 did a cover story on what goes on in backyard wrestling. That was a real interesting segment there because, you know, even us as kids, we did a lot of stuff in backyards. You know, you pretend like, hey, you're Ric Flair, you're Kevin Nash, you're everybody. And there's a lot of injuries going on. I remember seeing a news segment one time where kids were jumping off garage roofs and everything. And let me tell you, you know, I know a lot of parents say, oh, that has to do with the pro wrestling and all this. I mean, you got to give pro wrestling a break sometime. I mean, you sit there and you say, you know, they're saying, oh, the kids are seeing the stuff like Suck It, and they're seeing all the stuff that the WWF does. But, you know, Vince McMahon made a clear point. You know, they don't start doing this stuff until 10 o'clock at night. And, you know, if your 9-year-old kid is watching TV at 10 o'clock at night, then it's not the WWF's problem. It's the parents' problem.
Well, if kids are jumping off garages and stuff like that, doing wrestling moves, and it's not wrestling's fault, I think dumbness is hereditary.
Yeah, well, that's the truth. Another thing going on, you know, also you got Stone Cold Steve Austin, who, of course, obviously is the hottest wrestler going on today. You know, he's making the new commercials with the milk commercial.
I think he's a jobber. Sorry, what were you saying?
Yeah, okay. Anyway, then you also got the deal with Scott Hall going on. You know, what's the deal, him coming back to wrestling now? You know, he can't make up his mind if he's going to be a wrestler, if he's going to be a family man, if he's going to be whatever he's going to be. And then, of course, the big thing going on is with Bret the Hitman Hart. You know, the I Quit thing, which obviously was a work. Bret Hart's not going anywhere, so everybody out there that thinks that Bret Hart is, he's not going anywhere. Actually, he has a groin injury and he has a stomach injury, both which have been worked on.
Surgeries were a success, by the way.
Right.
They were successful.
So, anyway, with that in mind, we're going to take some more calls. Hi, you're on the air. Okay, not important. Hi, you're on the air. Okay. Well, we'll come back. After these messages, we'll come back. We'll take some more of your calls. If you got any news, rumors, or anything that's going on, just give us a call, and we'll see what's going on for you. And if you have any questions also, give us a call, and we'll let you know what's going on. And anything else from you?
There's never a cloudy day at Ultimate Tan in Talmadge. Stop in and try out one of these state-of-the-art Wolf tanning beds. For your convenience, Ultimate Tan offers both 20-minute beds and a time-saving 15-minute super bed. Right now, take advantage of the new client discount, only $25 for 1 month unlimited access. Only at Ultimate Tan, 71 West Avenue, just off the Talmadge Circle. Call 633-3190, 633-3190.
Lady Madonna, baby at your breast, wonders how you manage to beat the rest.
Done, now it's done. We're gonna have let me, a cat fight. There's nothing more I like better than a great cat fight. Cat fight!
Are you having a musical, special event, meeting, or outdoor event? Then call your experienced professionals for all your lighting and audio needs at Mir Productions. Whether you're looking for lighting, mics, lasers, speakers, pyro, or much more, Mir Productions both rents and sells equipment. Also let them assist you with your next recording project with their full digital recording studio. Call Mir Productions now at 1-888-485-1716. Do the job right with Mir Productions.
Okay, welcome back. And look, Rick, we got some critics already. Our phone lines are still jammed. Feel like taking any more calls, or?
Yeah, go right ahead.
Hi, you're on the air.
I wanted to know what you guys thought of Hulk Hogan turning to the good side.
Well, personally, Hulk Hogan needs to turn to the good side because Hulk Hogan is probably the worst professional wrestler I have ever laid eyes on.
Oh, come on,
man. Hulk Hogan's the icon.
Oh my gosh,
Yeah,
Ric Flair
I
is
have
the
to agree.
icon.
I have to agree with this guy. You know, Hulk Hogan has made pro wrestling. I mean, now that you got, you know, Stone Cold, The Rock, you got a lot of the bigger names now, but the bottom line, the backbone is Hollywood Hogan, and I think it is a good turn, and because, you know, they can only go so long with him being a bad guy. They're starting to turn all the good guys into the bad guys, and, you know, that's why WCW, I think, is having the problems. They got so much talent, they just don't have a lot going on with it. And Hogan turning good, that makes the little feuds go a little bit better.
Yeah, whatever.
Next caller.
Hey, couple of things, guys. First, I want to congratulate you guys on doing this type of a show. It's about time somebody did.
Oh, thanks a lot.
We had to smack a few people around, but we got ourselves in here.
That's right. Second thing, there seems to be a little bit of speculation about whether or not Mankind is going to retire soon. Do you know anything about it?
I do not think so.
He's not retiring anytime soon. In fact, the WWF's actually trying to give Mankind a deal where he doesn't take so many hits the way he does because, I mean, he's getting paid top dollar to take all those hits. And I still say the greatest match of all time is that one WrestleMania where, hey, Mankind fought The Undertaker, and to watch him just go right off the top of the cage like that, I mean, you could fake some pro wrestling, but when you're dropping 16 feet on your head.
Yeah, and another thing, anyone that can make the Wonder Faker look good has definitely earned my vote for a great wrestler.
Yeah, he's not going anywhere. Hi, you're on the air.
Yeah, do you know where WrestleMania 2000 is going to be from?
Actually, I did hear something about where they were saying it. Nothing's official yet. I heard something about like Arizona or something. Nothing's official yet. They're still they're having lawsuit problems about calling it WrestleMania 2000, which is obviously the next WrestleMania. That'll be WrestleMania 16, and rather than calling it WrestleMania 16, they're going to call it WrestleMania 2000. They're still having problems to see if they can even use the name due to the new millennium. Everybody else is doing something with the year 2000.
That's corny.
Yeah. So no, we have nothing yet, but we'll find out for you and let you know. Anyway, also another big thing that's going on in the WWF and WCW, you know, they were supposed to meet September 27th, both in the city of Atlanta. You know, WWF, WCW, they also, you know, they have their own territories. Wrestling's nothing but a territorial game. WWF broke the guidelines there, and they decided, hey, let's meet the WCW head-to-head to find out who the fans like better. They were both supposed to meet in the same city on the same Monday night. WWF was supposed to meet in the Georgia Dome, and WCW was supposed to meet down the street in that new Turner building down there. And unfortunately, somebody pulled some strings, Ted Turner and all that. WCW had a little bit more pull, and they got it to where now WCW and the WWF are no longer going to meet heads, which I thought would have been interesting because, you know, Jim Ross was reported on the Jim Ross hotline that, hey, you know, they were ready to go. They were ready to say, hey, let's get it on, see what the fans really do like better down south also. And
it would have been interesting, but then you would have had to think that you probably would have had two crowds that weren't sellouts, and that wouldn't have been good.
No, I disagree. I think both of them would have been sellouts. But the thing is, with them both being sellouts, you know, you got to look at it. I think WWF would have won the battle because WWF by far on Monday night gives a lot more exciting show and 10 times better than WCW. WCW is just nothing but a bunch of talent they do nothing with. Basically, when you're watching WCW Nitro, in my opinion, I think all you're watching is old Mexican wrestling, and to me, it's quite boring.
Man.
They need if you want ratings, WCW. Here's a hint, Kevin Nash. Turn around, use some of your talent during the thing instead of making everybody think that hey, they're just such a superstar that they don't have to wrestle. Get some of the good guys out there and say hell with the little Mexican wrestlers and hell with the little Japanese wrestlers. Basically, all you're running right now is a circus sideshow.
Okay, look, now that's crazy because wrestling is supposed to be wrestling. All you're getting right now with WWF is a talk show. Sure, I like the talk show, and I do watch WWF, and, you know, it cracks me up listening to The Rock talk and everything like that, and even when I have to hear that jobber Stone Cold Steve Austin talk, he might make me crack a smile every once in a while. But You know, WCW has real matches, and that to me is what matters in wrestling. The only thing that I can just not agree with WCW is, why are they pushing all these old guys? These old Hulk Hogan don't need to be getting a push anymore. The guy should be, he's about to die in a couple years, isn't he? I mean, he's pretty old to me. Personally, they need to give all these young guys that have real talent a push. Let these guys pick up that stardom. Let these guys get the roles that these old men are holding on to right now. And then maybe we'll get to see them finally jump back up in the ratings again. Hey, I'm tired of watching the same old movie over and over and over again. You know, it's about time we get to a new show.
Yeah, but the thing is, the WWF by far runs a much better show. You know, you got Sable, you got so much better stuff to look at when you're watching WWF.
I agree.
And granted, they say, oh, the people out there, the concerned parents, the conservatives say, oh, well, the WWF is just, oh, so bad, and they do so many bad things. I mean, take a look at the ratings. It's obvious people want to watch it. So all the people out there that badmouth pro wrestling and say, hey, this, sit on the couch and shut your mouth and basically, like The Rock says, know your role. So let's go back to the phone and see what the people think. Hi, you're on the air.
Hi, I have two questions, actually. The first question being, how does one break into professional wrestling, either as a manager or as a wrestler? And my second question is, I've missed quite a bit of ECW, so when I turned it on about a couple of weeks ago, I noticed that Beulah McGillicuddy was missing. What up with that?
Beulah McGillicuddy, if I'm correct, she broke her neck or something like that. So Beulah won't be on for a while. That's why Tammy Lynn Bitch, spelled B-Y-T-C-H. That's why she's been going in there acting like Beulah McGillicuddy to kind of tick off everybody around her, except for, of course,
and if, also, if you want to get into pro wrestling, there's numbers that you can call. You know, you call up the WCW, you can call the WWF. There's so many wrestling schools you can get into. You know, you got the Killer Kowalski school, you got the Power Plant for WCW. You know, you just get in a call, or you can send tapes to Jim Cornette from the WWF, him being the PR guy, or it's Tony Schiavone for the WCW. Just give them a call, and they'll send them a tape. They'll get you something going on if they like what you got.
Yeah, they have a lot of wrestling schools all over the place.
Is that what your plans are there, caller?
I have flip-flopped with the idea of more of being a manager than an actual wrestler, but...
Do you have somebody that's going to be a wrestler that you're going to manage?
I'm looking for somebody, actually.
Oh. So right now you're just kind of wanting to break in.
It's just like a brainstorm, more or less, right now.
Are you going to be one of the types that, like Sable, that's willing to show their body? Because, you know, women in pro wrestling ain't going to make no money unless they're willing to show something.
Yeah, unfortunately, how it seems.
That's a bit iffy. I don't know.
All right, well, yeah, just, you know, get a hold of WCW. You can, you know, we can usually have the numbers and everything we can usually give out, but maybe next week we'll get a hold of it, and if you give us a call, we'll see what we can do for you.
Okay.
All right.
All right.
Hi, you're on the air.
I was wondering if Stone Cold and the Big Show are together because they're always coming to each other's rescue, stuff like that.
Well, if you want to know the truth, I think they're supposed to be tagging up together, okay? Just to say, they are going to be tagging up together in a match against, I believe, Triple H and The Rock, but I'm not 100% sure.
But that doesn't mean still that they're like, if you're talking about, are they going to form like a DX type of thing or a group together? No, I don't see that happening anytime soon. But yeah, they'll be allies probably for a little while until the angle. I mean, I think Vince McMahon spent all that money. He's not going to spend it on just for those two to be a team. You know, he's going to eventually turn around and make it to where...
Yeah, they'll feud in the future.
Right. Okay, well, we're going to go take a break. And when we come back, we'll take some more calls and give you some more news.
There's never a cloudy day at Ultimate Tan in Talmadge. Stop in and try out one of these state-of-the-art Wolf tanning beds. For your convenience, Ultimate Tan offers both 20-minute beds and a time-saving 15-minute super bed. Right now, take advantage of the new client discount, only $25 for 1 month unlimited access. Only at Ultimate Tan, 71 West Avenue, just off the Talmadge Circle. Call 633-3190, 633-3190.
Bad boys, what you gonna do?
Watch Crime Strike, Saturdays at 4, here on the Cat, channels 35 and 29. Get an attitude, a WWF attitude, right here on the Cat, channels 35 and 29. You're watching the Cat, channels 35 and 29.
Hi, welcome back. Okay, and you know, another thing that we forgot to mention too, you know, all you ladies out there that are thinking about pro wrestling or anything else, and I know you got a million Heartbreak Kid Shawn Michaels fans out there. You know, Shawn Michaels has recently been married to one of the WCW's Nitro girls.
Former WCW Nitro girl.
Well, now actually I hear she's on her way back heading.
Oh, for real?
Yeah, she's talking about, hey, they're both going to work on the side, this. You know, it could last. It might just be a gimmick to, hey, you know, Shawn Michaels is in a little bit of heat right now by the WWF anyway. At WrestleMania, when he made his comments to Vince McMahon, I guess Vince McMahon didn't like the way that he did it. I mean, it was all part of the work, and this could even be a work, but the word out in the rumor world is, hey, Shawn Michaels went a little too far and overboard with the comments.
Please, the man just got married. Correct him by his name, his real name. Shawn Michael Hickenbottom. I love that name. Okay,
you know, also we got things going on. Jake the Snake Roberts, you know, he's in jail. He's out there, owes $21,000 in back child support, and if anyone's heard anything about that, he's supposed to have been on a couple independent cards. Actually, he's in trouble now because, hey, he couldn't show up for him, and I heard he's even facing 4.5 years.
And you know, rumor is Johnny's been suffering anxiety attacks because they won't let his snake in the cell with him.
Oh, that's a bunch of it. Anyway, let's go back to some calls and see if maybe we can hear some more rumors and news or whatever. Hi, you're on the air.
Yeah, I've heard about the Thursday night WWF SmackDown coming to UPN.
Yeah?
I don't know. I thought that was a rumor. Or they said something about April.
Yeah, April 29th.
29th, yeah.
29th. It's going to be on starting April 29th. It's going to start out, it's going to be a 2-hour show of just like Thunder. It's going to be a regular WWF show for 2 hours, but they're going to start promoting and pushing with the Women's Federation.
Yeah, but
and they signed, WWF's only signed like 8 to 10 girls, and then starting in August or September, they're going to actually go 1 hour of the SmackDown, and then the second hour will be the Women's Professional Wrestling show, which I think is going to be kind of exciting.
But what I'm hearing also is that they're going to be using luchadors in this also. They've signed a bunch of luchadors also, so they'll have like women and luchadors, and then maybe throw in a couple of their real wrestlers in there to make it.
Yeah, so if it's not a rumor. April 29th, the show is going to be on, and so if you heard it, it's going to be a rumor. It's a true rumor.
Oh, okay.
I guess that wouldn't make it a rumor anymore, John.
Hi, you're on the air.
Yes, I was wondering if you heard anything on the Sting situation.
Well, the problem with Sting, see, the thing that's going on with Sting right now is he's a reborn Christian. He's got to, you know, made amends with his wife. He's done all kinds of things. You know, they're having actually a problem angling him because he doesn't want to go with the heel role. He doesn't want to go with the good guy role. He actually, in all reality, he's looking to do like a reverend role, and
Yeah, he
you know,
wants
that's
to take the makeup off and everything.
yeah, take the makeup off. That's not a Sting role. And everybody out there, I think that would definitely drop ratings if they made Sting some little clean-cut, good guy, you know. And I mean, granted, Sting's angle's kind of a little corny now. It's kind of played out, you know. The Crow angle is just, I mean.
You are Sting. This is to you, Sting, okay, Stink? You are Stink, okay? You've never been anybody else but Stink. Take the Crow makeup off, okay? Brandon Lee died. Let him live in his grave or whatever. You are not him.
Is that the Sting thing that you were mentioning? Is Sting your favorite wrestler or something?
He's my son's favorite wrestler. I was just wondering if he was ever going to come back with the short blonde hair.
You know what? That's who he should come back.
Well, he likes to be, you know, he wants to do that, but he also, like I said, he doesn't want to do the makeup thing anymore. He doesn't want to do the you know, the loud yelling when he did the Sting calls and all that. Sting is just basically right now deep into religion, and in all reality, it probably doesn't belong in wrestling.
Thanks.
All right, caller, you're on the air.
Yeah, I have a couple of comments and a question. One thing I want to say, it's very refreshing to have you two guys doing this show.
Oh, we appreciate it.
It's probably going to tick a few people off at $1.99 a minute call-in with Gene Okerlund and the boys.
Right.
But then you're only going to get propaganda. But my question is China going to be doing any more facial surgery in the near future?
She needs to.
No, come on now. China is the only beautiful big woman in wrestling. I mean, now they got Nicole Bass. All right, now look, this is not going to happen.
Oh, and that's a man's man there. Nicole Bass. You know who Nicole Bass is?
Don't you think she's a little overdone it now?
Hey, you know what? You know, the thing with China is they're actually bringing in Nicole Bass. I don't know if you know who Nicole Bass is.
That's the big blonde chick from ECW?
Yeah, she used to be on the Howard Stern movie. Now she's...
They want to know what gender she really was.
Yeah.
yeah, I've seen that one too.
Yeah. Well, now she's going to come in and do a little feud thing with...
But you know, no, they're not going to do it. They're not going to let her feud with China like they should. And here's what I think. I think they should have her feud with China. I think that Nicole Bass should...
Those two would be a good match.
I know. Well, you know what? I don't think China wants to do it because China doesn't want to look small. And trust me, Nicole Bass will make China look small.
Well, isn't Nicole Bass like 6'2" or 6'4"?
Oh,
Nicole
yeah.
Bass got bigger arms than
Hogan.
Yeah, Hogan.
Well, see, I don't think... Let me tell you why I don't think that would be a good match anyway. You know, you got China, you got Nicole Bass. Both are big women. You know, when you got Sable wrestling on a card, everybody's hoping... The bottom line, when women wrestle, people want to see shirts fly. You know, and if you take the shirts off, you're going to draw... You know, if they had a Devil McMichael against the Sable match, you know, there's nobody in the world that wouldn't want to see that. But then you got two big women that are basically guys. You know, you can watch guys wrestle anytime. I know I wouldn't really want to see that. I mean, to me, I think the WWF probably wasted their time bringing in Nicole Bass. Okay, go ahead.
Is China Triple H's real girlfriend?
Actually, they're married.
That's what I heard. I'm not.
They are for sure together. Yeah, China and Triple H have been dating since when they both went to the school of Killer Kowalski, and yeah, they are together behind the scenes.
You guys are really awesome. Keep up the good work.
Thanks, we appreciate it. Go ahead, you're on the air.
All right, I just want to make a comment. You guys are doing a great job.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Hey, no problem.
You got
that Mankind thing about him.
You're gonna have to speak up, caller. We can't hear you.
That Mankind Undertaker match.
Yeah.
Right. It was at King of the Ring, by the way.
Right.
King of the Ring.
Yeah, you said WrestleMania just to fix that.
Oh yeah, it's okay. Yeah.
John's a jabroni, fellas. I'm sorry to put that to you, but he's a jabroni. Go ahead, Ray. He's still got some questions.
The Stone Cold and Paul White. Those are the two biggest pieces of trailer park trash I had ever laid my eyes on.
Oh,
I really like this guy.
I take it you're a Rock fan, right?
I can't stand that guy either.
Well, I like The Rock, but you're right about the other two trailer trashes.
And Ric Flair, come on.
The greatest. The greatest. I'm done talking to you.
All right, caller, you're on the air.
Yes, I have two questions.
Okay.
I went to see ECW last October, and it was really great, very entertaining. And I was just wondering, do they tour with the same wrestlers all the time?
Well, you know, ECW doesn't have a big entourage of wrestlers anyway. Everybody that they have is there. That's the show.
And plus, with the money trouble they're having, they've been, like, touring with less wrestlers anyway, only people that are definitely needed.
They're trying to keep ECW kind of stacked with talent anyway. You know, ECW is having financial problems, and there's wrestlers coming in and out all the time because, hey, if they can't get a job with the two big boys, they go to the ECW to hang out until something better comes along with an angle that they have.
But I will tell wrestling fans this. If you want to see a great wrestling show, you have to watch ECW. They put on probably a better show than WWF and WCW. The only problem is they're a little too vulgar and they're not very marketable because of that. I'd like to see them get a network job. TNN plans on picking up a wrestling alliance somewhere soon. But my guess will be...
And they got the works going on in Canada also. They got the shot going on up there, which is a possibility.
It might be Stampede, it might be WLW, it might be WOW, and it might be WXW.
Okay.
I don't know.
Well, we're going to take another break here, and when we come back, we'll take some more calls, cover down more of the pro wrestling world, and see what goes on after we get back.
Get an attitude, a WWF attitude, right here on the Cat, channels 35 and 29.
Having a musical, special event, meeting, or outdoor event? Then call your experienced professionals for all your lighting and audio needs at Mir Productions. Whether you're looking for lighting, mics, lasers, speakers, pyro, or much more, Mir Productions both rents and sells equipment. Also let them assist you with your next recording project with their full digital recording studio. Call Mir Productions now at 1-888-485-1716. Do the job right with Mir Productions.
Lady Madonna, baby at your breast, wonders how you manage to beat the rest.
It's on now, it's on! We're gonna have me! Let me! A cat fight! A cat fight! There's nothing more I like better than a great cat fight! Cat fight! Cat fight!
There's never a cloudy day at Ultimate Tan in Talmadge. Stop in and try out one of these state-of-the-art Wolf tanning beds. For your convenience, Ultimate Tan offers both 20-minute beds and the time-saving 15-minute super bed. Right now, take advantage of the new client discount, only $25 for 1 month unlimited access. Only at Ultimate Tan, 71 West Avenue, just off the Talmadge Circle. Call 633-3190, 633-3190.
Okay, welcome back. Rock and Rick. You know, as today we also got a birthday.
Don't call me Rock and Rick, man.
Rock and Rick.
Oh, man. He makes up these weird nicknames and throws them at me.
You know, today we got a birthday also.
You're a role model. Just remember that, son.
Yeah, okay.
Go ahead.
When I take the title for the predictions, you just remember I'll defend it against you at any time.
Oh, man.
Anyway, we got a birthday today also. We got today's Goldust, the Intercontinental Champion in the WWF. Today's his birthday. We like to say, hey, happy birthday.
About time somebody that's a real wrestler in the WWF has a birthday. Happy birthday, Goldust. You are the man.
Also, you know, we want to take a couple minutes here. You know, I'd like to say that if you're interested in, you like the show, you think it's a good thing, you like to, you know, own a business, you want to advertise with us, you know, you can give us a call for our advertising thing at area code 330-922-4286, and, you know, maybe we can play your commercial and throw in a couple spots for you and see what we can do for you.
Yeah, and if you're wondering, there's people watching this. They already said that we're breaking records over here for the most phone calls coming in on a new show. So I know what happened was people were scrolling down their channels, saw me on TV, had to stop right away because they knew I was their role model. But, you know, that's
you need to
probably
stop
just my
that.
theory.
That's ridiculous. Anyway, let's go back to the phones and we'll see what's going on out there. Hi, caller, you're on the air. Hi, caller, you're on the air.
Hi, how you doing?
Hi, how you doing?
I just want to say first that role model, you're the man, but your buddy over there just needs to shut his mouth and know his role.
I apologize for this jobber next to me, but, you know, you have to have one in every group. Look at Tony Jabroni.
There you go. I have a couple questions. What do you guys think about X-Pac and Kane being the tag team champs, and do you think that's going to work out? And the second question is, do you know anything about this New World Wrestling that's going to be at the Stone Monroe Falls High School on the April 23rd?
Okay. As far as Kane and X-Pac being the champs, I think that angle stinks. Me personally, I can't stand X-Pac, but he is a big draw.
X-Pac's got some good kicks, too.
You know, as far as that, you know, there's rumors out there saying, hey, is Kane going to join DX, or is DX, or they're going to join, X-Pac going to join the corporation? I don't see any one of them. I think it's just a little temporary thing that's going on. As far as the little thing going on, the independent federation going on at the Stowe High School. We haven't got a whole lot of word about that yet, but we'll look into it. I know there was something, I think, at Barberton High School last night. There was an independent show, and from what I heard, it was a pretty good show. So anybody who missed that kind of missed out on a real barn burner, I guess.
Well, if you're not down with X-Pac and Kane, I got 2 words for you, and I think you know what that is.
Say it loud. Say it loud.
Suck it!
Next caller.
Hi, you're on the air.
Yes, I have a question. I was just wondering if Shawn Michaels is going to return to wrestling, and if not, is he going to be more active as commissioner?
Shawn Michaels is definitely going to return to wrestling. He's probably going to
it's going to be a limited role. They still say his back's not 100% healed.
Yeah, he's going to return kind of like Arn Anderson did with the Horsemen back to DX, you know, so that they can start this feud with Triple H and the corporation, as if there wasn't a feud with the corporation already, but now there's Triple H there. I personally thought that Triple H leaving DX was a great move because Triple H needed to do something, get away from all them other jobbers, and really get to work with an organization that has real wrestlers in it.
Well, the thing with Triple H also, you know, they're going to make Triple H eventually. Triple H, when he signed his contract, Triple H, within the next year or so, will be the WWF champion.
World champion.
I know he's not biggest draw right now the WWF has to offer, but in his contract it states he will be the WWF champion.
He does
and that's
have
why I think he switched over to eventually turn around and...
He does have the biggest nose the WWF has to offer, though, so you can rest assured of that.
Anything else, caller?
Yeah, just as if, is he going to be more active as commissioner, too?
He might not do that. He might scrap that role.
Oh.
The commissioner role. He might scrap that role.
Yeah,
might not be commissioner.
he's made some bad blood a little bit from WrestleMania, and he's probably not going to be a whole lot more of the commissioner.
Besides that, Vince McMahon and Shane McMahon are going to be feuding pretty soon coming up here. Vince will be turning babyface. To all you marks out there that don't know what babyface is, that means a good guy. And Shane will take the role of the heel, bad guy.
See, but to me that's so dumb because, you know, Vince McMahon is never ever going to be a good guy.
Well,
nobody likes Vince McMahon. And as long as he's ever said anything to Austin, as long as he said anything to The Rock, nobody's going to like him.
Okay, I have to disagree with you right now because I like Vince McMahon. I do not like Austin. I do not like any of those other, jobbers that you're talking about. I like you, Vince. You're a genius, and keep up the good work. But one thing you have to stop doing: stop the Undertaker crap. No one wants to watch the Wonder Faker. No one wants to watch the Ministry.
Yeah, we got about 1,000 callers here saying that the Undertaker's great.
Yeah.
Hi, caller. You're on the air.
Yeah, I was just wondering if you guys have heard anything like anyone joining DX to replace Triple H besides Kane.
Okay, they wanted to put in Val Venus to replace the DX, or to replace Triple H in DX, but the problem with that is they did not want Val Venus. X-Pac, Road Dogg, and Dumbass, they all got together.
I don't think that would be a good fit anyway. I mean, Val Venus, he does this little stride like the old Rick Rude used to do, and I think the Val Venus role, as far as that goes, keep him as Val Venus, push him a little bit like that. When they start doing a thing with the Kai and Tai way back then, when he was sleeping with everybody, and then somebody finally caught him, was going to chop him up there. That's a good role for Val Venus. He doesn't belong really in DX. He's not the type that dances the way they dance.
Yeah, he's not DX. I don't see him. None of that.
Go ahead, caller.
Yeah, I was wondering why you guys aren't really talking about all the independent organizations as much as you are.
The reason why we don't, we talk about independents every now and then, but if you're more of a wrestling fan, you know a lot about wrestling, then independents are more important to you. But, most people out there in the wrestling world only know 3 federations, ECW, WWF, and WCW. So we want to kind of stick to the major federations. But if you have any news about independent organizations,
feel free to call in with any news that you have on independent wrestling. And I will tell you that if you get a chance to see anything from WOW, WXW, or WLW, a lot of W's going on here, you got to watch these shows because they do have some good. They got a lot of good talent in these 3 there. And if there's other federations that I didn't mention, I apologize for that. But those are the 3 that I do have.
All right, because there's one home-based right here in Cleveland. I think it's doing a really good job.
What, the one in Lima? You talking about Al Snow's federation?
No, I'm talking about Cleveland. All Pro Wrestling.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, well, when some big name comes there, like I said, at any time in any independent federations are throwing a show, you want to call the show and let everybody know, you're more than welcome to give us a call. We'll talk about it and see what goes on.
Okay, and one more thing. There was a caller that called in earlier wondering about training. Well, they also train, too.
Oh, they do?
Oh, yeah. Okay. All right, well, thanks.
All right, bye-bye.
Number 4.
We got it. Hi, you're on the air.
How you guys doing?
Pretty good.
Real quick question for you. I don't know if you guys, you've been watching the WCW a lot and noticed how bad Hogan and Flair and those guys in the ring, how bad they look now with their acting. I think everything's so telegraphed, and I think it's really time to move these old guys out because I think they're really ruining the WCW. I think that's really holding them back.
Yes, I agree 100% with that. I think that they are holding them back and stuff. And I'll tell you what, another guy who was also in that mix, Bill Goldberg, the guy's yelling at someone with a smile on his face. I wish he'd stop that. He's got to stop grinning in these things. He's like, I'm mad at you. He does that.
Well, that's why that's why the WCW's having the problems.
Right.
So
how you're pissed off, Goldberg. You've got a big grin on your face. I'm scared now. And speaking of Goldberg, he had
neck injury,
his neck and stuff. So he was like in that match that he's like told the guys to take it easy on him.
I heard the Macho Man's coming back to WWF too. Is that true?
Tonight.
Tonight he's coming back?
No, not WWF, WCW tonight. I didn't hear anything about him going to WWF. That was
have.
a rumor. I heard a rumor about that about 2 months ago, but it came up. It was just a rumor.
Is he going to be wrestling again then? Because he's looking really, really big again.
Oh, he's definitely in shape. He hasn't stopped working out, and yes, he will be wrestling soon. Tonight he will be.
Okay, well, I'll tell you what. Why don't you hold on here? We got a couple things about the Macho Man, actually, you know, and when we come back, we'll go ahead and we'll cover what's going on with the Macho Man. Caller, if you want to stay online, we'll go ahead and tell you some news about the Macho Man, and when we come back, we'll take more calls and give you some news.
Does your life seem hectic, like you can never catch up? I have a solution for you. Jesus tells us in his word, "Come unto me, all ye that labor and are heavy laden, and I will give you rest." I'm Dallas Billington, and I hope that you'll join our church services from the Akron Baptist Temple on Sunday morning on channel 35 in Cleveland, 29 in Akron, and also on cable. Hope you'll be a part of our services.
In the Word, there's always hope.
Hi, riders. Ernie Patsio's here for the fabulous Liberty Harley-Davidson. You know, there's more than one reason that we're Ohio's volume Harley dealer. It has to do with our great selection of Harleys, the best service department, a huge selection of parts and accessories, and an outstanding clothing and collectibles department. For the complete Harley experience, visit us at Ernie's Liberty Grill for the finest meal in town. So come on down and spend the day where you can ride, shop, service your bike, and enjoy some great Harley dining. All this happens at Ohio's volume dealer, Liberty Harley-Davidson in Akron.
There's never a cloudy day at Ultimate Tan in Talmadge. Stop in and try out one of these state-of-the-art Wolf tanning beds. For your convenience, Ultimate Tan offers both 20-minute beds and a time-saving 15-minute super bed. Right now, take advantage of the new client discount, only $25 for 1 month unlimited access. Only at Ultimate Tan, 71 West Avenue, just off the Talmadge Circle. Call 633-3190, 633-3190.
Okay, welcome back. And, you know, we were talking about to the caller, he got disconnected somehow or something. Yeah. You know, the thing with Macho Man, too, Macho Man is back and ready to wrestle. The thing that's going on with him is WCW, Macho Man wants to be playing a role like Stone Cold Steve Austin. Come out as a loner, come out and be a rebel and just come out. But, you know, Macho Man, you're not Stone Cold Steve Austin. If you idolize the guy, you know, quit wrestling and just watch him go be a impersonator.
I'd like to see my last note I gave you.
Okay, here. Let's go ahead and take a call here real quick, too.
Doing this.
Go ahead, caller. You're on the air.
Yeah, you guys were saying before about my personal favorite, Tammy Lynn.
Tammy Lynn Sitch.
What about her?
And she was going to go join up with Ric Flair.
Okay, this is a rumor. I cannot 100% tell you, yeah, this is definitely going to happen, but she seemed happy about it. You know, Tammy Lynn Sitch has been known to lie, though. But she was on a show, and she did say that that's what she's, you know, that she's in negotiations with WCW about possibly becoming Ric Flair's valet. And, you know, hey, Ric Flair's getting old and flabby, man. She'll make him look a lot better. He's still my favorite wrestler, though, so don't get me wrong. I'm not disrespecting him.
Well, she is my favorite. But one more question. Who is the so-called higher power behind the ministry?
Okay, now that's a good question. They have changed this angle a couple of times on me through the rumor things, but we're hearing it's either Vince McMahon's wife,
which, yeah, now they're
Shane
fading
McMahon.
away from that.
Shane McMahon's the new one that might be the one, or Vince McMahon's daughter. You know, but one of these people are going to be a relative of Vince McMahon, and that's going to be the higher power. You know, I've also heard Shawn Michaels possibly, but I do not think so. I doubt that. I think that was completely false.
Go ahead. You're on the air.
Oh, yeah, I'm from down in Virginia Beach, and I just put my channel right here in Cleveland, or right here in the Akron area today, so I know you guys from a while back, and I respected your opinion a lot. But I wanted to know on tonight's show, what do you guys think about this sorry four-way match? I think WCW screwed up as soon as they threw that in the mix.
Well, that's why I asked for my notes a minute ago, because I don't think I have the right ones, but I can remember some stuff. What happened was, with that match, here's the worst part about it. Sting wants to be a babyface. Hogan wants to be a babyface. He wants to be the babyface, which, like I said, that means a good guy. And DDP wants to be a babyface because of all the charity he's doing. Ric Flair's the only heel in this match. He's the only one that does not want to be a babyface. Now, So them guys don't want to turn on anybody, and Macho Man doesn't. He wants to be babyface also because he wants to do that Stone Cold type thing. So he doesn't want to turn on Sting, who's obviously his buddy when he comes back. So it's all a big mess. There is, you know, they haven't even decided who the winner is, which makes it pretty good for me and him to go and do our prediction for the title belt tonight.
Yeah, usually they do. They give you, you know, a little bit of hint of where it's going,
Right.
how it's going. But actually, they got so many problems behind the scenes, like you said, with Sting, with DDP, with Hogan. Everybody wants to be the good hero again, and nobody wants to take it.
Hogan's whining that he should win the match, and then Flair's like, wait a minute, you know, because Flair was, I guess, promised to hold the title until June. He was like, wait a minute, you did promise me I can hold the title until June. You know, so...
Okay, well, let's go ahead and one more call here.
Yeah, we're going to have to wrap things up.
Go ahead, caller, you're on the air.
Yeah, I got a question and a comment.
Okay.
I was wondering how much time either one of you guys actually spent working for a federation.
Okay,
Either one of you guys ever worked for a federation?
We worked independent federations. We never worked the big time ones.
Like local independents?
Yeah, but it was about 10 years ago.
All right, and my comment was, you know, it seems to me it's more I think Rick than you, but it seems to me like you're coming across that you get your little spreadsheet every week and your fancy wrestling workbook out and use some words that everyone doesn't understand. You know what? They call you guys a couple of marks.
All right, well,
What's that?
You're dismissed.
Go ahead, caller.
Yeah, I got 2 words for you guys. 4 Horsemen. What's up?
All right. Hey, we finally got a real fan there, but there's only one problem. I do not like the 4 Horsemen right now.
I don't like them either, Rick.
Thank you. Thank you. Dean Malenko is a midget wrestler. He should be wrestling midgets. Chris Benoit, I mean, I really like him. He's a great worker, but, man, he's just too small. And, man, come on, Horsemen don't snot on people. Ric Flair's a little bit on
you know,
age.
the thing is, the Horsemen they're pushing the thing
And now they're thinking
from years ago.
They're thinking about getting Barry Windham again. What they need to do, here's my Horseman right here. Bret the Hitman Hart, come back. You know, come back and become a Horseman. I think that would be great. I think maybe if they want to give somebody a lift, you know, give someone a push, I think maybe Scott Norton would be a good Horseman.
Yeah.
I'd love to see Tully Blanchard get back because he was the youngest of the 4 Horsemen, if I'm correct.
Yeah, but he's too old now.
Well, yeah,
He's too old now.
Yeah, but, you know, but those 2 right there, maybe keep Ric Flair around for about another year, but come on, the guy is 50, you know, until we can get somebody. I would like to see actually Mr. Perfect in that role. I'm sorry, he's not Mr. Perfect anymore. Kurt Hennig in that role. I liked him before, and I thought it was stupid to trash that angle.
Okay, well, you know, we've covered a lot. We had a lot of calls, and we appreciate all your calls. And every Sunday you can come here, join us at noon, and we'll cover all the downloads of all Pro Wrestling Weekly here. And
And if you fans would like to make any comments to me personally throughout the weekend, you know, like you heard any news or anything, or hell, I even like hate mail, go ahead and throw it at me too. I don't have too much of it, only about those 2 jobbers that called me earlier. But, you know, if you want to send me some fan mail or anything like that, just write, you know, type in, get on your computers, go to erolemodel@aol.com. You can go ahead, tell me if you heard anything that I may not have heard or something like that. Maybe we'll put it on the air.
Yeah, and all you people that dislike the role model, be sure to send him a nice little surprise, maybe.
Yeah, no downloads, please, because I will not be downloading them. Yeah.
Anyway, we covered a lot today. You know, it's a new show, new openings, new everything. I think we had a pretty good, successful show.
Yeah, it was pretty good, I guess.
You know, like I said, every Sunday, we'll be here every Sunday. Feel free to join us, give us a call, and let us know what's going on.
And it wasn't that hard carrying you either, John. You know,
Yeah, okay. Hey, we'd like to thank you for joining us, and we'll see you again next week on Sunday at noon here on The Cat. We appreciate you joining us, and we appreciate your calls. Thanks.